For 24/7 soul-edifying content, this is Kristocentric Station. Playing at Kristocentric.com. Kristocentric Station, the Kingdom Promoter.
And we're officially live on the Kristocentric agenda with me, your boy, Edwin Tichy. And I want to say a big welcome to each and every single one of you. And this is the last day of the month of July. And I have something special just for you. In the recent weeks and recent months, there have been growing discussions, growing concerns about how safe our monies are online, in banks and number one money wallets, because we have several customers, several people complaining about being scammed, being frauded of their hard-earned money. And right here on the Kristocentric agenda, we pick up topics that are pressing to the general public and we address them. And today I have with me in the studio Mr. Ephraim Gordor. He's the senior analyst at the technical delivery at Ephraim Gordor. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You're very welcome to Kristocentric Station.
Thank you very much.
So to go right into it, for those that don't know what e-crime is, what is e-crime?
All right, so I would say thank you for having me here this morning, and also thank you for, as in to your listeners, and also that is your viewers as well, for making time to join us have this conversation. Yeah, so Ephraim Bureau is a cybersecurity firm. As a Ghanaian-owned cybersecurity firm, which have been in existence more than a decade now. Mm-hmm. And with our client, it cuts across, as in that of the public and the private sector, looking at it from extractive, going into the finance and also telcos as well. It goes on and on. And for our services, mostly we try to protect organizations in terms of their systems and data, and also their operations as well, against cyber as in attacks or threats. And in view of our services, we have that of the managed cyber security, which include as in monitoring, detection, incident response, and that of vulnerability assessment. And also we have that of training as a service that we provide, training on various aspects in terms of cyber security as well. We have legal support, we have digital forensics and investigations. So that is where there's an issue and you need a forensic kind of investigation. We provide that as well. And also we have financial crimes and investigations that also include any financial issues that has, happened. If you want to know the source how it happened. And I think as we go through the report, we will get to know all of this stuff so that we know how e-crime also can be of help in such situations, as well as background checks. We do that as well. And that of technology solutions as well too is part of our services that we provide. And this morning, as already said, this is a discussion that is, now a thing in Ghana, and it's not an individual affair or a technology or an IT kind of solution that is just needed, but all of us has to come together and play our part in this so that we will all stay safe and secure as a nation. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. So you mentioned you've been in the private and government sector, right?
Yeah.
Helping across. What's one government, project that you can proudly boast of? We did it, or we collaborated with government on this.
All right. Thank you. So with E-Crime Bureau, I think we've done quite a number of stuffs in the country, but one of them that I know, even when you go on Google, you can find is the E-Crime project that we did with the police CID in terms of training them in cybersecurity and forensic detection, because now the attacker or the criminal has left the physical holding of guns, now they are online trying to get into our system. So they needed to also get that knowledge and understanding, as in train them for them also to see how cyber is also a threat and how to even conduct investigations when it comes to cyber threats and all. So this was a national kind of project that we picked up, training numerous employees that cuts across the police and that of even the judiciary sector as well. So it was a thing. I think that is way back 2012. That's the Ephraim project. So everybody can go and read about it. It's interesting.
So what you're saying is that what the people at the CID have, the knowledge they have to fight cybercrime, is because of Ephraim Bureau.
Yeah. So the inception of it, as in Ephraim, played a major role in that. Yeah.
Looking at Ghana now, are we weak on cybersecurity?
All right. So looking at how far we've come as a nation, we've done well significantly. We've done well, and when I say we've done well, looking at the various controls, the various legislations that are coming up to make sure that everybody or each and every person is playing their part to make us safe. And recently looking at some of the bills that was coming up from the communications ministry, though people had one or two against it, but I think it's just to help us go through that process of protection. And as it is, as in technology keeps on growing, so as it grows, we try to modify certain things, adjust certain things, just to align with the processes that we want. So as a country, we are doing well, as in putting in the necessary controls, and also in line with it, I can see that the organizations in the countries are also doing well, and that's due to the regulations that are in place, as in regulators coming in, making sure that you are compliant. Then also pertaining to the banks, the telcos, all of them are doing their part, putting in the right controls to make sure that as a nation we are safe, because it starts from them, and collectively we are protected. Yeah.
But how did we get to the point where scamming, fraud cases have become so widespread?
Yeah, so this is an interesting question, and that is because of our quest as human beings or people to, adapt to technology. And that is the other side of technology that, we have to also face. That's the reality. So as in now, a lot of people are, gearing toward online shopping, using, digital smartphones and, engaging electronically. So now everything about us has been technologicalized. So it's digitalized such that now we use much of technology in all aspects of our lives. So in view of that, a lot of people are now adapting to this. So in cases like that, we say as in the threat surface has increased or has expanded. So imagine if in a house you were just using 3 computers. That means if an attacker should come in to, let's say, break into those stuffs, the attacker only has 3 items to break in. But now if you have 10, then it means that there's a possibility of 10 things being, so that is the threat surface. So now, because a lot of people are coming in, it has also increased the threat surface for them to also get more people into their activities. Yeah.
You mentioned earlier about the authority making sure organizations comply, in keeping their customers safe. How exactly do they do that?
All right. So they do that by bringing in, directive. So when you look at the BOG, for instance, they brought, a directive, that is the CISD directive, that enforce certain level of security, especially when it comes to leadership. You see, mostly when we go to organization, the security and its enforcement lies with, the IT people, because they are behind the tools, or they are behind the systems. But how this directive is, it's giving the CEO, the owner, a certain level of accountability to account for when it comes to the security of that organization. And you see, mostly when it comes to directive and regulations, for instance, if you don't comply, if it gets to a time that we've seen that you are non-compliant, that is where certain sanctions or penalties will be placed in. I remember when the communications minister came in at first, there were some radio stations that had to be, I don't know, their license has to be taken or something due to, so it's part of it, where if you are not compliant, such penalties would be. So in view of you trying to keep your operation, you will want to also, as in, enforce all those directives so that we can all move on. And I know some of there are a lot, even looking at that of the CSA as well. Always they are coming up with directives, and you see how they do it. It's just to help us curtail certain situations, because as I said, security and its attack keeps on growing, it keeps on evolving. And there's this new directive by the CSA that came up due to one of this attack that happened in US, in one of the universities, Nottingham University, and all the students had their data exposed. And so in view of that, the CSA came up with a directive just to guide the universities, even so that they will also be conscious about the data they keep with them.
Now, quick one. Let's go straight into the Bank of Ghana report that was released. We're looking at fraud happening inside and outside, banks. Mobile money and banks are affected throughout. My question is, from your vantage point, are the monies of citizens safe in banks?
So the question, if the monies of citizens are safe, I would say yes, in the sense that even looking at the report that we have with us now, we can see that comparing 2024 and 2025, there's been a massive improvement when it comes to even the cases and that of the money that have been saved due to cyber threats. Because considering that of 2024 and 2025, there's been a reduction of about 34% in terms of the cases that were reported. And also in terms of the value as to raise. When I say the value as to the raise, it means the monetary aspect of it. It also got reduced by 24%. So it means that the financial sector, they are doing well. But you see, in cybersecurity, we have what we call the risk appetite, which means that, you can't just reduce it entirely, but you come to a point where you know that, okay, with this, we can accommodate the risk that comes as in along with it. So to say that, their monies are safe, yes, I would say it is, because they are putting in the right controls, measures, and incident response channels to make sure that everybody gets the right, as in, results they need. And you see, if there are cases, it doesn't automatically mean that your money is lost. In a sense that, yes, it could be that there are cases that are coming up. The cases are a lot. And even with the report, you could see that the cases, comparing the cases and its monetary as in aspect, you could see that with the bank, they were able to do well, because the money and the cases are far as in bigger than the monies that were lost due to those cases. So the cases can be there. It could either be that they were able to resolve it or curtail it such that no money was lost, but it will still be counted as a case. So we will see the numbers like that. But from the report, the banks and the financial institutions are doing very well.
You mentioned that the cases don't directly, tally with the money. And that they are handling it. But are the banks doing enough to even prevent these cases from coming in? Because from that same 2025 Bank of Ghana report, the total number of cases in 2024 exceeded 16,000. But in 2025, it rose by 48% to about 24,000 cases, total cases in 2025. If the banks are doing enough, shouldn't we rather see a reduction in the cases, not an increase?
So with the same report, when we look at the report and the 48% increase we are talking about, that includes the banking sector, that's the SDIs, that is pertaining to the loan and saving, all those other financial institutions that comes along with it, and also that's the PSP, which is the payment service providers, as in, which includes mobile money, Airtel, Tigo Cash, and as in Telecel Cash, all of them inclusive. That is what makes up the 48%. Yeah, but in the 48%, when we are to go through it, you realize that the one that came up higher happens to be the PSP, which is the payments service providers, including mobile money and telecell and all. So those are the ones that gave us the higher numbers. And that one alone is about 95% out of the total percentage as in rise that we see. So it means that if 95% are from mobile money and the rest, then the banks and that of the SSD did about 5%, which means that their contribution to the 100% is 5%, which means they did well. They made sure that there was quite some improvement on their side, though there is other side out of them that we will talk about. But looking at it generally, the banks did well. Just that the major part of it happens to come from the mobile money, the Tigo Cash and all those stuff, which I think is not the fault of the service providers, but there's an aspect of the security that lies with the consumer or the user of that service. That as we go by, we will have to see how we all can help ourselves stay secured and contribute to the security that we want to attain. Yeah.
So coming to the aspect of the security line, a part of it line with us Ghanaians. What are some of the things that a regular Ghanaian does over and over and over again that exposes them to fraud? Yeah,
so with some of the observations that we've seen, both online and even as part of work, we realize that we Ghanaians sometimes are not vigilant. When I say vigilant, I mean in security we have something that we call trust but verify, in a sense that you don't just trust anybody who calls you that I'm from MTN, I'm from this bank, that your account has been hacked and we want to help you. Yes, even if you want to trust, you have to verify, in the sense that you have to the official lines of MTN. If it's your bank, call them, be sure this is the issue that has happened. But what majority of us don't know is that if your account has indeed been hacked, as in a bank, they have the privilege to deactivate the account. Do you understand? Yeah, they have that privilege to deactivate your account such that there wouldn't be any transactions going on over there. So even if they have to call you and tell you that they need some details from you before they can deactivate it, that is not right, because they have it to even deactivate it before coming to you, so that it will help them curtail the impact, because mostly in cyber activities what we look at is the likelihood and the impact of it. So at least what if they called you and you weren't available? Would they wait till the next morning before, if they have to deactivate your account? Yes, so it should tell you that whenever anybody calls you that I'm from MTN, your account has been blocked, and you have to that is not right, because MTN, as the systems administrator, can do all those steps even without your knowledge. Just that because of certain security measures also, that's why they would have to seek your consent. And with MTN, let me add it up that even if they want to do anything as personal like that, mostly they want you to be at the office so that they can do all those stuff for you. Yeah, no. They don't mostly do it that way. You have to come to the office, and even if there are services that you can do it online, there are sometimes another aspect that they will require you to be at the office, just maybe a final session, then they do it with you before they close out on all those. So we have to be mindful. I think we have to be very vigilant, and also be conscious of you trying to verify anything that we see. And also another activity or habit that we see of people is reusing of passwords, of which I can understand people and why they would want to do that, because they might forget.
Too many passwords.
So many passwords, But you see, if we really want to be security conscious, then that means we have to also be mindful of that. Because supposing your bank has the same password, your mobile money has the same password, even maybe your phone has the same password. So it means that if you're a target and I want to get you, and I've been able to know that this is the password to your phone, I will try to use the same password for your mobile money, or let's say any other, maybe your bank. Yes, I will try to. Let me try and use maybe. And if you are to go by that means, a lot of Ghanaians will fall short when it comes to that aspect. And you see, because of these things, because of these security measures, that's why some of the applications, they've put in as in another feature, which is, forgotten password, which you can use it anytime, any day, any number of times, just to reset your password. So it should tell us that that shouldn't be a concern that maybe you will forget. Yes, you will forget. That's why there's another feature that you've forgotten your password, and you'll be able to reset it. And only just that with that, you need to be the original kind of owner of that phone or maybe account, because there will be another means by which you'll be verified, which is called a multi-factor, by which you'll be verified. So a lot of Ghanaians, we should be mindful. And also, even with the password, the way we try to create our password, because a lot of us, the PIN and password that we use
will be your birthday,
it surely has your birthday or something,
related to it.
So it means that if I'm a hacker and I'm trying to hack you, these are some of the basic information I will try first before using any other. So maybe interchanging your birthday, trying to play around the numbers, if any of them will work. So it should tell us that literally that's not the best way for us to set our pins and passwords. So we should be mindful. We should be mindful of all those things as we go on our daily lives. Yeah.
So coming back to the banking sector, looking at the top reasons that lead to online fraud.
Yeah.
We saw at number one, leading the pack,
ATM.
was ATM
Exactly.
or POS.
Yeah.
For those that don't know what the ATM or POS scam or fraud is, give us some information about that.
Okay.
How does it work?
Thank you. Yeah. So with the ATM and POS, the way those kind of scam does happen is we have what we call card skimming. Card skimming is where the details on your card is stolen, or as in is read without your knowledge. And you see, mostly even when you go purchase something online and you are using your card, there are some details that is required. That's the number, the CVV, and even the expiring date. So that is all I need. Yeah, so it means that if I want to, now I don't have to physically even steal your card. I just have to be, alert, find ways and means to read all those details on your card.
Yeah.
Then I can use it. So that's another way that, all this comes about. And also there is an aspect where, the criminal can implant, as in a camera around the ATM machine, so that whatever you are doing, whatever engagement that you are doing, it can read, your card and get those details as well. So, and even when it comes to the camera, mostly they do that also to get your PIN, because you'll be punching in your PIN on the ATM. So from wherever the camera is being placed, it's able to read whatever you are punching, on the ATM. That means that should tell you that also, if they've been able to read that, then surely the next target is your physical card, because now they know your PIN. They just need your physical card, and go and use it to withdraw. And you see, in cases like that, the system wouldn't be able to know that, the right owner is the one who just punched in the PIN, because what the system requires is that the right PIN should be punched, that I can give authorization, or as in allow you to do what you want to do. But in cases like that, it's not the system. The system was there. If a wrong PIN was punched in, the system would have rejected. But now it's the right one. And it's not the fault of the system, but the user who was, maybe not conscious or careless enough for such things to happen. And also there's the aspect where some attackers can invest in ATM machines and go and place it at a vantage point, so that people will go and use it. As in, that is where it's not planted or as in placed at the bank, at the sector of the bank, but it's placed somewhere, at a remote area just for accessibility's sake, but it's also for an ulterior motive. So whatever you go, any transaction you do over there wouldn't be successful, because it's with an ulterior motive. And sometimes it will be successful, but it means that as you put your card inside, that magnetic, it has gotten all the details it needs of your card. Maybe your transaction will be completed, but it means that your details is exposed to them, which they will use, somewhere else to get all those stuff. And lastly, there's the aspect where the system itself have been manipulated. So you see, there are times where, when especially for those who use the POS, it is advised that you do, random assessment or random checks, because maybe you scanned a product or somebody is withdrawing something, and you could see that the amount that is supposed to be taken is either lower or higher than what actually has to. Then it should tell you that there is something wrong with this machine, which needs to be attended to, because if not, you will keep on using it, and it's not as if huge numbers will be taken, but little by little, by the time you realize it's a huge sum of money. Yeah, because looking at the shops, it's not as if it's just 10 or 15 people who comes through. About 100 people will be coming to a shopping mall. So it means that if you have to even take a CD, that's 100 Ghana cedis. It's money. And if I'm to get 100 Ghana cedis a week, 2 weeks, 1 month, is a huge sum of money that will be taken out of your blind side. Yeah, so all these stuff that happens when it comes to ATM and POS fraud.
But how can Ghanaians protect themselves from ATM and POS fraud?
All right. So with that, one advice I would give is that whenever you are using the ATM and punching in your PIN, whatever it is, you use your other hand to cover, the numbers, because on the ATM there are numbers over there. You use your hand, try to cover it a bit, so that even if someone or a camera is to capture, it wouldn't be able to capture all of them. Yeah, it wouldn't be able to capture all of them. And also it's advised that you reset or change your PIN or passwords frequently.
How frequently?
So you can give yourself maybe every month, and mostly with organizations and password reset, it starts from maybe 30 days, 60. Mostly it's not advised to go as in beyond that. So you can adapt that. It should be part of you now, because as in for all you know, that is exposed, but you don't know. Just that is a multi-factor that is protecting you, but you don't know that you're already exposed. Yeah. So by doing that also helps. It helps, as in you should, you see, in able to stay secured, you have to be determined. As in, you should make it a part of and plan of your life that you want to do this every month. You plan, you do it, so that it also helps you to stay secured. And also, I would advise that whenever you're using the ATM, don't just seek help from any random person, unless an authorized, party by the bank or whatever, the service provider, to come and help you, so that you do it before, as in somebody will just pretend to be an official, but the person is out of somewhere. And also when you are using it and someone is helping you, when it's time to put in your PIN, like politely let the person excuse you, so that you have that privacy to put in your PIN as well. And lastly, if not so urgent, it is advised not to just use any random ATM than the one that you know that, okay, this one is authorized by the bank, or as in a provider that you can trust. Yeah.
But how do you know which ATM has been authorized by the bank?
Yeah, so I think mostly for as for the one that is in the bank, as in premises, that yes, is by the bank. And sometimes when they put it anywhere else, they put, as in, add those inscriptions on it, as in as that inscription that you will see, or as in however it is at the bank, is the same thing you will see anywhere else they put it, as in without anything changing. So it should tell you that when you go, and even there is a diagram that doesn't look like what. So that's why I say you have to be vigilant. Vigilant means that you have to also be observant so that you can see between the lines what is different, how different is it from this. Because, one thing that also we do know in cybersecurity is as in to impersonate, where they try to take a form of somebody they are not. So you may think that, okay, this one looks like the exact message from MTN, but when you read through, as in between the lines, you get to know that, oh no, as in this way different. This address is not from MTN. Yeah, so that is also part of ways that we can stay secured when it comes to ATM and all those. Yeah.
But can't a fraudster just install an ATM at any vantage point and put the designs of a trusted bank on it?
Yeah. So that's why I say that if not urgent, if not because you can't just go to the bank, maybe you can't do a mobile kind of transaction, then it's not advised. I wouldn't advise that you just do that, as in without really knowing that, okay, this is from this bank. And mostly when it's from a bank, they try to either get an official around, or if it's also with at a filling station, then you can even ask around to be sure that, okay, this, who placed this one here, or, yes, as in just so to be sure. But with what you're saying, it can be done. They can do it. But always when it's a copy, you don't get the exact thing. Always when it's as in a copy of the original, it means that it still can't be like the original. And that is where you have to be observant. Now, every Ghanaian has to be observant. You have to, you see, in a way that at first that we had, crimes happen physically, though now they do, but now it has migrated to, online kind of thing. It was always advised, even when you are going out, that you have to be vigilant. It's not everybody that so it means that now we have to also be vigilant in our way, so that we can observe between the lines and know that, oh, okay, with this, I can't trust this. Yeah, I can't trust that.
Earlier, you mentioned POS machines being manipulated.
Yeah.
ATMs being manipulated. Who does the manipulation?
Yeah, so it's a lot of ways that this can happen. I would take it from, first of all, an insider threat way. When I say insider threat, I mean somebody who works with the organization, who has an intent of stealing, attacking, hacking, so people like that.
That happens.
It does happen, and we've heard as in numerous of insider threats happening even in the bankers as in field when it comes to security, where even there are people who would intentionally want to give or as in expose data or information from the organization. They are all insider threats. They would even tell attackers the movement, the operation, even how to get in and all. They are all termed as is insider threat. And people like that can knows the weaknesses or the loopholes of the application, where they can just bypass it and get away. So there are people inside who are of those kind of mindset, just to steal and have their way around all those stuffs. So, and there's the aspect where the attacker, or as in the criminal person, would also do that from outside. When I say outside, they would try ways and means. There are times that there have been cases where even the ATM has been tampered with, because these are bots, as in bots that are as in operating. So you when you have leverage of opening it, then it means that you have access to all the operation stuff to just do any configurations that you want to do on that. So it does happen. Just that is not as frequent as compared to other forms of attack, as in when it comes to the cyber space.
So when it comes to the insider threat, how is that curtailed? How do you know the motive of whoever you're hiring, or how do you prevent the wrong people from coming to your organization?
Human beings will be human beings, and when you don't put in measures and controls, it might not help. And that is why, as I was mentioning, even some of the stuff that we do, the organization that we do background checks for them, and integrity checks as well, just so that you'll be sure of the person you are hiring. Because and mostly we do this for the manufacturing people a lot, because they have a lot of employees, and all these employees are coming from different backgrounds that you may even not know of. So at least when you are able to conduct these background checks, it gives you a fair idea of this person, what the person can be, and that also will tell you even the position or where to even put this kind of person in your organization. And so with that, Ephraim, we do that. And also when it comes to forensics too, it's an aspect that we do to help such investigations, so that now everything is online. So with that, you're able to trace all the footprints and get to the original source, or as in the person who came up with such. So it does happen. Just that for organizations to really help reduce it, there's that aspect of conducting that of background checks, and also internal controls, putting in the right internal controls. We have something we call physical control. Physical in the sense that, you see, as we are in this studio, there's a gate at the front, here and there. So at least you will lock one such that at this space you don't want any, it's out of bound. Nobody can enter, and put in the right physical controls to make sure that if you are not authorized, you can't go there. So they are all part of ways and means to help curtail such situations.
My boss always has this saying that people don't do what you expect.
Yeah.
They do what you inspect.
Exactly.
And I realize that that's really true.
Exactly.
Moving on from the ATM and POS fraud, one of the other standout types of frauds that banks experience, based on the report, is cash suppression. Because per that report, it rose from 2.3 million Ghana cedis in 2024 to 40.7.
That's a lot.
In 2025.
Yeah.
What is cash suppression, and how did it rise by that amount?
Yeah, interesting. So I think cash suppression falls under the insider threat kind of cyber issues. So this is where mostly at the financial sector, money has come in. It's either that money wasn't recorded properly, recorded at all, or that money didn't go, somebody has taken part, or all those kind of ways. And I think that there was this issue in April of this GT Bank issue, where the relation manager was taking part of, as in a customer's money bit by bit, to the extent that at a point the customer came to the realization that no, it's like my money is off. Before they came and conducted an investigation and realized that about 12 million was
12.
12 million was gone. It's a huge sum of money. And the funny story is, when he was supposed to account for the money, what he used it for, how he used it, you could see that it wasn't for any really, really meaningful stuff that he used it for. Yeah, so these are examples of it, where that money was supposed to go, but a part of it wasn't sent. It wasn't sent in full. Let me put it that way. So that is what it means literally. And from the report and what we see, you see, it accounted for about 36 million when it comes to the cash suppression. That as in the amount that was involved alone was about 36 million, which is a lot. And looking at it, the Bank of Ghana dismissed about 75 employees out of that. And as I was reading, I got to know that out of all the 75 employees that were sacked, about 59% of them was due to cash suppression and cash theft. So that was a thing. And you see, as I said, the banking sector in terms of cases was able to minimize the cases. But when you look at this amount, it's so huge. So it should tell you that, in as much as the cases was as in a little, the amount of money that people were picking out of that small cases was a lot.
Was a lot.
Yes,
A
it
lot.
was a lot. So it means that if it was 2%, that 2% of bank cases or bank, contribution to all of those stuff should be about, in terms of money, should be about 40% of the entire thing of what, mobile money did. Yeah, so in terms of money, it was a lot of money, and that was also due to, but looking at it from that standpoint, the 40 and the BOG's dismissal contributed to, 36, then it means that it's just 4% left. That was from other sources. So it means that majority of this contribution was due to this 75, cases that happened that resulted in dismissal from, by the BOG. Yeah, so that is what contributed to that. Yeah.
With the statement that you made about the 12 million Ghana cedis in total that was taken out bit by bit, and this is excluding the other cases or the other monies that have been stolen due to cash suppression. Per that report, the Bank of Ghana report, only 5% of all monies lost of the 68 million lost in banks was recovered.
Recovered, yeah.
Why is recovery that low, and why is tracing that hard?
Yeah. So, recovering the money sometimes can be difficult. That's why we keep on, creating this awareness, because it's much better to safeguard the money than to lose it for us to now conduct investigations and get those money back. You see, sometimes it's difficult due to how fast money moves. When I say how fast, like the criminal, person, the attacker, wouldn't just come and try to steal your money. They've planned it out. So it means that from this account, it's going here. From here, it's going there. I think even when you look at the Abutrikas issue, that was what happened. As in, it was deposited into this person's account so that later it goes here and here, and all those distributions will be done. So because of that, it's quite difficult to get the money. So imagine that somebody calls you, as in my mobile money. I sent you money and you have to send it back. But by the time you call MTN that my money, they've withdrawn the money and whatever the money has to. So how fast money moves is a contribution to that. And also we have that of jurisdictions. As if when we look at the frauds that happened in the course of 2024 to 2025, majority of them was from South Korea, that of Nigeria, and other Western countries. So it should tell you that in terms of jurisdiction, before all the investigation can be complete, it will take a long time. Even look at all the various extraditions that have been done. The case it spans more than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and the money wouldn't sit there. Even after a day, the money is gone. So by the time we conduct all this investigation, the delay and everything will mean that the money is surely gone. And yes, you would arrest the person. This person, the money has been squandered. It's not as if the person, the person can't give you the money. So it means that yes, the recovery rate will be much lower. It will be much lower, and also there is that aspect of it where they've come cryptocurrency as part of all these, and it's not as if with crypto you can't entirely recover it, but it becomes also difficult for you to get through all these stuffs. By the time you realize that an exchange is here and there, it becomes complicated. So that's why we are still on this campaign that please, all of us, let's try our best so that we would rather safeguard the little we have than losing it for us to now come and go through all these investigations and all. As in, even if you will be able to recover it, it's just a little. It's just a little, not all.
So you're not going to recover all your money?
I wouldn't say that's not possible.
Or it's less
possible.
likely.
It's less like, as in looking at the things involved, it's less likely for you to get all your money just like that. Yeah.
Wow. Moving our attention to mobile money.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier about, a lot of the safeguards lying on the customer.
Yeah.
Not all customers are tech savvy.
Yeah, sure.
We have aging mothers. We have people that are not that knowledgeable in all of these things. Doesn't the telco feel that they need to do better to protect these kind of people that are not as knowledgeable as someone who, like us?
Yeah.
Doesn't it fall to the telcos?
Yeah, so what really falls directly to them happens to be they put in the controls that they need to put in so that their client or their customers will be safe. And I think with that they are doing it. But there's the aspect of the end user that we are all coming in just to make sure that we spread the news for everybody to be aware of their part that they have to play. Yes, I think in a way they also have a part to play in liaising with the customer in terms of maybe helping them with their multi-factor, all those, because they are, as you said, they are aged people there, of which maybe it can be an initiative where aged people would be brought together, maybe taught, and if some of them still can't do it, at least the personnel there will be there to help them do it personally, as in done. Because with a awareness, we are still creating it, but there's still some old lady somewhere. There's still some somebody somewhere that yes, they've heard it, but they can't also do it. Yeah, but what I would say right now is that if you can't do it, maybe you are listening. If you can't do it, you find somebody who can help you out on those stuff. Because you see, mostly it's not about you, because I do hear some Ghanaians say that but me, what do I have? There's nothing in my account. The thing is, it's not about what is in your account, but on that your phone you have Edwin's number, you have my number, you have some details about me or Edwin, which is part of what we call social engineering. So at least gathering this data can also help them trace back to me. So it's not necessarily about you not having anything on your phone, so you are not protecting yourself, you are just leaving yourself ajar, all those stuff. But it's about you also contributing to the general goal that we are trying to, attain. Yeah, so there's a part that we all have to play, and I think we are doing our part, and you also do your part to call us to come and, educate all of us. I think the telcos, they are doing it, and I think that there is also more room for improvement. So we all do our part. Yeah.
Shouldn't the cases be going down, especially for mobile money? Because one of the top ways old people are scammed is through the calls.
It's true.
And it didn't start now.
Yeah.
It's been happening for years.
It's true.
So at least by now, there should be a track record of all the numbers that have been flagged or suspect of engaging in fraudulent activities, and those numbers, shut down.
Yeah.
And per the government directive, is basically one number to one
true.
Ghana card.
Exactly.
So shouldn't the cases be going down? Why are they still happening?
Yeah. So with these controls that you've made mention of, yes, then it means that we literally have to see the numbers going down. But with even the Ghana card and registration, that is such that each person would have a single SIM card, it hasn't been fully implemented yet, such that and now in a sense that we are even in a case where it's not everyone who has a Ghana card. So if you are to deny somebody from having a Ghana card, a SIM card because I don't have a Ghana card, that is not fair. For when the registration was due, the person wasn't 18, the person wasn't available, all those. And maybe I also need a Ghana card. And the telcos too, they are there for profit. So at least they also have to save their customers, know that they are getting new customers they know. But you see, with that being said, until it's fully implemented, we can't get a certain level of reduction that we are looking for. Because if it's so, then that means that attacker using that SIM card, as said, will be blocked or flagged so much so that that SIM card can't be used any longer. Yeah. But until then, that means that when you even block it now, a person can get to register a new one, and on and on until such things are done. And mind you, when things like this are done, it doesn't solve it entirely. It wouldn't give us 100% solution that okay, now everybody has just one SIM card, so that is all. You see, as I said, the cyber threats that we see now, they keep evolving, such that if you are to seize them from this, they will find ways and means to get another way that they can get through to the customer. And now you see, we are in a time where banks and all of these stuffs are getting representatives on WhatsApp. So maybe they say that you can use this WhatsApp to reach out to us. And so if now the bank has a representative on WhatsApp,
yes,
then I can also use WhatsApp to call you that I'm from so and so. So it's still wouldn't solve it entirely from a call still being placed to the customer. Just that there will be that reduction. And as I said earlier, there's that part of the risk appetite, which means that at a point, okay, we can come to a point that we know that okay, with this risk, it is good, we can accept it and manage it through. So it's there, and I'm hoping that very control will be done so that the re-registration can happen, so that all of us can see that at least there is some reduction that we are seeing. And with what I'm seeing, I think that in 2026 the report that will come will be positive, because I see some legislation coming out, some controls, some directives, and also we are hoping for the best. We are still doing it.
How sure are you that will be positive? Because this year we've had even some top officials say that they've been scammed. Not through mobile money per se, but even through these online delivery.
I think the president issue even came up.
Yes.
Yeah. And as I said, you see, these are cases. But when they were hacked, what was the impact? Did they, get to steal anything? Did they get any details? What was the exposure? So that is what really really matters. So because I said I spoke of the likelihood and the impact, and mostly in security we are mindful of the impact, because the impact that would result to the cost, reputational damage, and all the part of effect that it comes along with. So though they might happen, when we come to monetary value, did it cost, how much did it cost, and that also come to play. But if there are cases and the monetary value is that less, then it means that the right controls are in place, because it's not really generating into any financial loss and other aspect of it.
So do we ever expect to have 0% fraud cases, as in a society or a Ghana where we can be free to do online transactions, banking transactions, without thinking of being scammed?
So something like that, I'll be able to hear of it. Even there's no way in the world that there isn't any form of risk. Even risk even comes in security. You have what we call the inherent risk, such that even when you went to buy this camera, there were default configurations in it, which means that if you hadn't configured whatever it is for it to be secured enough, indirectly, even before coming, it's a risk. As soon as you put it on in operation, there's a risk factor to that. So to get a 0% risk, or as in cyber case here and there, that one wouldn't be possible. But as in to put in the right control so that the impact would be, so mostly as I keep on saying, is the impact that we look at. Because a criminal will someone somewhere will still try to convince and deceive someone. So that was it will happen. but the impact, and that's what we are still doing, so that everybody will be vigilant, everybody will be aware, so that we can all help stay safe as people and as a nation as well.
So, what's the next wave of fraudulent strategies that Ghanaians should be bracing for, and how do they protect themselves?
Yeah. So one thing that sometimes raises concern, and it's also good in the sense that it's helping us, is the use of AI. And now, let me share, an issue with you. There was this issue that happened in Singapore with a financial, institution, a fintech, where the boss or the director placed a request to the financial officer to release some amount of money. And as this awareness is going, we are telling you that whenever things like that comes, verify. So the person, now the boss called on video call, kind of with other people, called on video call to let him know that, yes, I'm the one who has in placing this email for you to release this amount of money, but not knowing the one in the video looks like the boss, yes, but it's not the boss.
So how?
Because now we are in a time where we use AI to generate images and pictures of people, get as in artificial, as in by way of artificial intelligence, getting all these stuff. So it's a real story. You can go online. Well, when you look at us in the fintech AI fraud or scam, you would get it there. So it should tell us that now AI is a thing that we have to be mindful of, and where you would see an issue online, somebody using, and that's why I think as part of the CSA directive, now even if you use AI to come up with an image that doesn't sit well, in terms of what you say about the person, it's also part of as in crimes that you shouldn't be doing. So that's why we now see some of the things that people have been arrested for because the person posted this, the person said it's an image. Yeah, so AI now is becoming a thing that we have to be mindful of. And I think recently I saw an advert where it's like the president was talking on some issues, and jobs and all those stuff. But clearly it was an AI that, and somebody said it to me, and I was like, oh, please don't get into this, because this is literally a scam. And just to add, because it's becoming a thing in our setting, where there is this fake job posting and fake investment as well. It has become a thing in our environment. You see, when it's a job, you read about it, it's surely from a company. And if it's a company, then that means it might have a website, have a number, an email or something. Verify. That's why we trust, but you verify. Be sure before even clicking any link. Yeah, so try your possible best to verify. If you have to place a call today that you've seen a job opening, call the person, place a call. It's just a 1-minute conversation. Then from there, if you have to click on the link to just apply, you just apply. And mostly with organizations, when it's outside, then it means it will be on their website. So when you go on their career, you should see it. You should mostly, even they will place it there before it will even come out. So if it's a job, please, let's do it like that. So happens to investments. We should try before. There are some of the exposures that you don't need to even do anything. As soon as you click on the link, you are exposed. Yeah, so let's all be mindful, please. Let's all be mindful.
Amazing. Before I draw the curtains on this episode of the Kristocentric Agenda, do you have any final words for our listeners?
All right. So I would say that thank you all for listening and coming this far with us. But cybersecurity and the protection of it is not just about the government trying to do it for us. Neither is it by MTN, trying to put in controls. Yes, they will do their part, but it is a shared responsibility. All of us has, a part to play. So you as a customer, you need to play your part. The employee has to play their part. We, the service providers, we are also playing our part. regulators are doing their part, and government in a whole. So all of us has to come together. That is to make sure that in terms of security, cyber crimes, and everything, we are getting as in the best of reports as possible. It's possible to, just that it's a behavior, something all of us has to come together so that we do it. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. So that has been Ephraim Gordor, the senior analyst, technical delivery, Crime Bureau. We're talking a lot about online fraud on the rise. Is our money safe digitally? So much has been said about banking online, insider vulnerabilities, making sure that whenever you're using an ATM or POS, make sure that no configurations have been made. Stay safe. It's your money. Not just about banking, even mobile money. Also be careful about these online job postings and even investment platforms, because that is also on the rise. So to watch this episode again, just kindly visit the Kristocentric Station YouTube channel and you get it from the beginning to the end. My name is Yeboah Edwin Techi, your Christian news anchor, and I will say thank you so much for tuning in to the Kristocentric Agenda live on the Kristocentric Station. We have so much planned for you throughout the day, so make sure you don't go anywhere. Do not change your dial, and we'll be back with more. Thanks so much. Stay safe. God bless you, and happy August. With us tomorrow. Goodbye.